God, kid, you're killing me here.
I want to go back to the 80s when you could be an asshole to your kid. I'd be like, just go outside, come in at bedtime, bye.
This was the 80s, man. There were no helmets. It was a wild place.
My parents were like, just come in when the streetlights go on. Come home to an empty house. Just do what you want. Latchkey kid.
The revolution has begun. I'm getting all my robot Roombas. I'm gonna
that
put
we can't find.
That we can't find. I'm gonna put blades on them, and I'm just releasing them off into the world. Go find my enemies, Roomba. Do my bidding.
The Roomba can't even vacuum. You think it's going to avenge you? The girl smelled glitter, and I'm like, perfect. I can finally use this.
Yeah, nothing. Just goes.
It's like, oh, did you want to make a bigger mess? We'll get in the middle of the glitter. Throw a bunch of air at it, so instead of one location, it's over the whole room now.
No, Roomba's going through the bath. Roombas don't go through the bath.
Then they come in here in the morning and they bath. I tried to clean it with the Roomba.
The Roomba?
Oh my God! What did you do to Roomba?
Oh no!
It wasn't even that funny.
You put the Roomba through the bath. Oh God! I love Massachusetts. We're the dirtiest people in the world.
We're horrible.
We are. It's like everyone makes fun of Southerners for being sweet and dumb, but we're like mean and dumb.
Yeah, we're not smarter. We're just meaner.
We're just meaner. But you always assume someone who's nasty is smart. Like, you always assume dumb people are, like, sweet, and then nasty
you
people are
do, like,
smart.
all those, like, oh, shock. I'm like, but you're just a big old teddy bear.
Yeah.
But you're just not bright. I think assertiveness, confidence, or the ability to speak up is very much the halo effect.
If you can be loud, like, you can fight.
Yeah, if you can show up in a suit, people think you're really intelligent and can run
true.
stuff. It's like, no, I can just look you in the eye and be direct, but that's more Boston than intelligence.
Yeah, you can be as dumb as a bag of rocks and still tell someone to go f themselves.
In college, one of my professors, it was the first week, and she's like, you look really intelligent. And I'm like,
you look like a bitch, which means you're smart.
She said, you just look like you're going to do well in this class. And I'm like... I don't know if you're soliciting me or what this is, but I already doubt your intelligence. I'll ride that out because you're giving me a grade, but like, what?
She's like, look, dumb people are big, wet, and stupid. They're also very sweet. You're mean, dry.
Inner class.
Right. You're not sweating currently.
It was because they were setting up groups and everyone's fun around, and I'm like, we need to be in groups of 4. There's 4 seats to take. Like, everyone's just where you're sitting is your group.
Yeah.
Like, the whole class had like a 15-minute discussion, and these are grown-ass adults. I'm like, I know we're still teenagers, but like, we're 18 and 19. If you can't figure out how to put yourself in a group after 15 minutes, we don't even get to biology if you can't count to 4. Like, what are y'all doing? I don't suffer fools. Like, I have limited time for bullshit. I give you the opportunity. I'll give you 15. Yeah. And at 16 minutes, I'm like, if it's not figured out, I'm just going to take it over. Like, there we go. Let's move on. Microbiology. Like, let's go. You know?
but assertiveness really feels like intelligence, but there's really no correlation, I think. Yeah, that feels like you know what you're talking about if you can yell really loud.
I think people are intimidated by intelligent people, and it's natural to be intimidating by aggressive or assertive people.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think you associate those two qualities.
That is very interesting. Like, you assume a sweet person's dumb, and then you assume a aggressive or assertive person is intelligence. But there is really no reason to think one has anything to do with the other. Human beings are we're very dumb. Like, we just make a lot of assumptions about knowing things that we know nothing about.
I know you hate evolution theories, but I know you abhor them, but I think for
evolutionary psychology can shampoo my crotch.
I'm not saying they're all right. I'm not saying
any of them right. They're not even science.
We survive by making quick assessments. Is this dangerous? Is this not? Like, you do need to walk into a room and size up people, even in modern life, quickly overall. So these are just fast and hard rules, but they're not necessarily true. But if you walk into a room and you see a little grandma with a cardigan trying to find mints in her purse, and then me, like, who out of the two of us are you going to think is the sweeter? You know, not necessarily true. Grandma could be a bitch. I could be a nice person. I'm not, but I could be.
But you just made like assumptions about how people survived 400,000 years ago. You know nothing about life 400. I know nothing about life 4,000, years ago. But we all like
Okay, when I'm sitting in my car outside a UPS running errands for the day with way too long eyelashes,
those are gorgeous, by the way.
I can make presumptions. You give me so much shit today.
I didn't think they would work.
My man watched me glue hair onto my eyeballs. He's like, what are you? I'm like, oh, men don't get this. Let me teach you the ways. I'm doing my makeup.
Whoa. Listen, Roomba, you're driving through the bath right now.
Don't ever refer to me like that. Ever.
I can see where that might go wrong.
Barf and calling me a Roomba.
No, it's bath.
Don't. It's the grossest word. You will never correlate, draw a parallel, refer to me in any way ever.
Point being.
Is there a point? You
yes.
sure you want to keep going?
You put them on and you were like, ooh, these are too much.
No, I put them on and I looked at you and I only had one eye done. He goes, what? What the hell is going on?
No, you said, are these too much?
Yeah, I did ask.
Yeah, you
and
did.
then he went, yeah.
But now you know what?
But then I put the second one on.
But you didn't
and then
know that was.
Ton of black eyeliner.
That's the point. Like, everyone assumes.
We're going to get coffee. Does it matter if I have drag eyelashes on? I'm wearing purple hair. Does anything else matter?
The point matters is you were assuming that you could pull it off. You had no idea if it was going to work. You were just fake. You're just like guessing, which is fine. But
are you saying I'm not pulling this off?
No, you are pulling it off, but you're acting like you knew you would pull it off.
I know I would pull it off.
You had as much doubt half in as I did.
Listen, I will glue any fake hair I want to my face. And I don't have a periphery vision.
I can't
because
see.
The curl's too big.
I actually can't see.
I can see from like here below. It's like, what's that called with the
peripheral vision?
Tunnel vision?
Tunnel vision?
Yeah, I have like cataract vision.
Well, you see, 400,000 years ago, we thought we could survive bigger with eyelashes and laser beams and UFOs.
Eyelashes are technically designed.
It's just evolution, you know. Did I ever tell you that Neanderthals were superheroes? And we beat them. I have no idea how we did it.
Intelligence.
No, they were pretty smart. Like, we're just mean.
If they were smarter, they'd be alive.
They were like, but I don't know.
I've actually met a few people that I'm pretty sure I'm like, yeah, you still are. There's definitely Neanderthal
but
DNA.
But that's the thing is like,
I see your forehead.
We instantly create the just so stories like, oh, we were smarter, so we survived. But I think they just needed more calories, so they just died out when the megafauna died out. I think it had nothing to do with us.
Super interesting.
They were 5 times stronger than us.
Okay.
Their women could bench 500 pounds. Like, their little...
I feel like I could do that out of rage right now. My highest bench is 125, but I feel like I could get up there.
They had a VO2 max that was almost double ours.
These are the facts I need to hear every day. Like, he needs to stop studying because then I have to hear all about random facts.
They would kill a saber-toothed tiger, like, they would just beat it to death. They would just, like, jump it in the woods and be like, pow, 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 and beat it to death.
It's like Jeopardy.
Can you imagine beating a tiger to death? How strong you would have to be to beat a tiger to death?
I'm going to go buy a $10 designer latte, and my little ass is sitting outside of UPS for my Amazon returns for things I didn't like that much that came directly to my house in 2.5 minutes. No, I don't have the function of my brain to know what it's like to beat a saber-tooth tiger. I am wearing a purple wig with ridiculous lashes glued. I spent an hour doing my makeup. Do you think I know what it's like to beat a saber-tooth tiger in my world? Like, I have any experience or background where that would be somewhat comparable to my life.
I'm canceling you in this car.
I hope so. Please do. Can we cancel this conversation?
Evolutionary speaking.
I don't have enough caffeine in me to deal with your bullshit. I need a ridiculously priced latte.
Roomba! Oh, God.
Roomba! That means something different in Spanish.
Just to hear Bill Burr yell Roomba in my whole life.
Roomba.
My principles are easily changed.
It's a hard no.
It's a hard no.
What if I make it hard? Then is
Then
it
it's
a no?
then it's an
then
absolute
it's a yes.
Hard no?
You make it hard
To
and
hard?
take care of it?
Absolute yes.
You know how we give names to male appendages, like guys name their junior gentlemen?
I don't.
No, you do. Do you want to tell them what your name for yours is?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, you...
I've never
Think about
named
it.
my dong.
Yes, you have. What do we call it?
Mister? Sir?
Mm-mm.
Master?
2 words. Both begin with an A.
Oh,
There it
the attitude adjustment.
We call his attitude adjustment. And kind of when I'm being a little... At least once a month, he looks at me and goes, do you need a little attitude adjustment? And I usually do.
You blush and you say no, yes.
When your girl's getting a little cranky.
It loves you very much.
I know. I love her right back.
Yeah, and you can never explain your weird purchases to someone else. Like, your
She
weird
came home with a teddy bear head. And I'm like, what? Dude, not a costume. Just a teddy. Like a
and
giant...
the dinosaur head, too, yeah.
That one I was on
But that
board
one, like,
with.
roars when you open the mouth. That's awesome.
I think the best purchase we ever made. I'm gonna make out with you as a dinosaur.
Giant inflatable ball.
We go to like Savers or like a little thrift store and buy the weirdest shit, but for like $7. I'm delighted.
I love it.
I got a Fly Girl coat and a
That's
dinosaur
so
head.
cute.
Oh my god, my super rich client who has a literal her own private plane I wore yesterday. She's like, "Oh my god, I love that. What does I'm like, it was $7.
I got this for $7.
And then she like retracted in horror. She's like, "Oh, I thought it was Burberry, like custom." I'm like, "You're adorable."
a custom. Yeah, you just gotta like what
Like
you
my
like.
kid's gonna end up stealing it from me anyway. It doesn't
I
matter.
know.
She wore my Lulu to school today.
Oh yeah.
My
of
kid
course.
wears more Lululemon than I do because now she steals my stuff.
Well, you guys.
She looked really cute. In it,
Yeah, I
though.
know, but you guys like. I think they can fit in most of your shirts.
I know, my older daughter, my little tween.
And they look modest in them.
Well, I know because my clothes are too tight. Right. I'm like, let's take an extra small and then suck it in. Like, I want you to be able to see like my heartbeat in my tank top.
Well, so it's a
Hear
perfect.
the inside of my ribs. That's how tight I want my clothes. So when my
How cute is
10-year-old
it when
wears,
you're like,
oh my god, it's adorable. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, you can't wear tight or short stuff. And they're like, well, you do. And I'm like, yeah, well, when you're mom, you can.
Right. The neighbor was like, your daughter's really tall. I'm like, is that because
He talks about her size every morning at the bus stop. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, dude, you're 5'4",
You're Asian.
Your wife's 5, maybe 5 feet, if that.
We've seen your grandparents, like they're tiny people
Yeah.
too.
I'm 5'8", you're 6 feet tall. My grandmother was 6 feet tall. Like, we're probably the smallest people in our family. Yeah, it is probably a foot difference.
Yeah, it is.
But he's like,
striking.
well, and I'm like, it's not like I'm giving her like
he wants
like a cheat code, and I'm like, yeah, it's not because of her Flintstone vitamin that she's a foot taller than your kid. It's genetics and common sense.
Yeah, we don't have a
like,
secret for
well,
tall children.
Do you feed her extra? Like, what are you? And I'm like, I do feed my child.
He's a scientist too.
Isn't that? I'm like, you are a professor at a college.
Yeah, I think he makes robots or something.
He makes robots and didn't understand genetics. What are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. That's just her. Every morning, she's just so tall. And I'm like,
I feel like the internet makes us feel like we're a lot smarter than we really are, because we can look stuff up and then because we can listen to something for half an hour and think we understand it.
I'm concerned though if you're asking me what my cheat codes are for getting my child so tall.
You should see
Like
what you do.
at night she sleeps upside down. I put her on the rack.
I whisper,
And little steroids and a little stretching, and they just and like
whisper
hubby's.
tall words into her ear while she sleeps. Grow.
All right, can we?
Yeah, I don't know why we're even here.
Let's go. Let's
All
just
right,
go to
let's
get
just-
coffee. I
can't
don't want to.
think.
I can't. I don't have the
can't
energy
do
to
errands.
return.
I don't know what is going on. I am so out of it.
I think the last 2 weeks have been such a level of stress between family stuff. Our house decided to implode. Like, hey, trees, you want to fall on our house? Got to get those cut. Emergency. Water heater decides to leak, and then the heating goes in the middle of November.
Oh.
Then we get space heaters and the electricity goes out. I'm like, we're just camping in our own house
We're
at this
just
point.
camping right now.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't.
My daughter
They
jumped
can't-
on her bed so much she broke it. So we ordered another one and she's taking forever to get here. So her mattress is on the floor. So she tells her teacher the other day, we don't have heat, electricity, and I don't have a bed. And they had to and I'm like,
No, hold on, wait a minute.
I appreciate you checking on that, but no.
Our kid tends to be a bit dramatic. Come on.
The heat was out for 48 hours. We got emergency crews in there taking apart our basement.
We
cutting
did good.
holes.
We got all that stuff knocked out, and you did a good job, honey. We got that knocked
Well,
out.
I was cold. I'm like, I'm getting on this. When I'm motivated, I'm real fast.
You can't worry about stuff until after it's over. That's normal.
Yeah, I have like a delayed well, because I just need I can triage really
Right.
quickly in my head. I think it's all our emergency training. It's like when you just got to get something done.
You just gotta get it
You
done.
can't describe the water you're drowning in.
Yeah.
You just got to save yourself. And then when you're unsure, you can be like, wow, it was really tough. I almost drowned.
Oof.
But I love our roofer.
He's a good guy.
He's such a hot. Oh my God, like a 50-year-old dude who looks like he's 80, throwing his hammer, swinging it, twirling, catching it on the roof line. Nothing clipped in. I'm like, I have insurance if you have insurance, so this is on your hands. I will call 911 when you fall.
Fiddling on the roofs for
But
my
dude,
whole life.
he walked up that line. He's flipping his hammer, catching it like he's doing gymnastics on the pitch of my roof.
That was weird.
Living
man.
his best
Humming.
humming the whole time,
You
doing
know?
like the crappiest, hardest work, just living. He's like, I'm in sunshine and fresh air and 3 feet.
I'm
in the
above it
thing."
all. I'm
I
a
was like,
roofer.
I have never met someone who enjoyed their job so much. Like, he loves what he does.
God, I love those people because they are untouchable by life.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, like doesn't matter how things get. Like you're literally above it all. And teach me your ways, because I'm stupid. Like I get all bent out of shape about stuff.
I have been overworked at a play group. My first day at the leasing center, they're like, first day, you're by yourself.
And the guy who half runs the place is on cocaine and like literally stealing money and running out the door.
First day, this shady dude. I'm like, oh, I walk in. I'm like, that's not too much coffee. You just used a bunch of cocaine.
He
like
was white. He
you.
was like cocaine white.
It was like
Sweaty.
Studio 54, the most cliche cokehead kind of situation you could go.
I remember because
I'm
you
like,
called me
why
and you're
is
like,
this
this is
safe
shady.
open?
Can you just come in and like bring me lunch or something?
Yeah,
and,
I was like, I don't want to be
hang out
alone with
here?
this dude.
He's giving me vibes. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And then
By the time you got there, and I'm like, oh, I found out the scam he was running, called him on it, and he legit took money and ran. This guy stole over 10 grand. He was the manager, just grabbed money and went. Because I was like, for a year, they're like, oh, we just let him run it. He was so on top of stuff.
He did
was
all the
handling
weekends.
it. He volunteered to be by himself alone on the weekend. I'm like, because he was stealing from you. Have you looked at the... This is my first day there.
and it's obvious.
I'm like, oh, accounting? Like... And I'm new. I don't even have the code to the safe, but I'm pretty sure the door shouldn't be open. Like with just cash hanging out. Like that's not a good look.
And he lived there.
He lived there. Like
He's like,
I'm gonna go
oh,
knock
shit.
on your door. Like,
The
hey,
chick is up. I'm taking the money. Oh, wait, I live here.
we called the cops, and I'm like, yeah, this is his address.
Upstairs.
Like, take the elevator. And they're like, are you kidding me? I'm like,
No.
So the cops are there on my first day. They found his cocaine.
They found his cocaine.
And
they found the
open
money.
safe. And then I'm calling like my boss, because he was my boss. So I'm calling my boss's boss. And they're like, really? I'm like, in 5 minutes, I knew this dude was high, shady, and stealing from you. He's worked here for a year. What are you doing? And then I just took it over, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this. And they're like,
Okay. Are you going to steal? You can if you
No.
want.
I did. I took it over. I was running the place in 6 months.
That was crazy.
It's like, you can make a lot of money when you don't steal it here. Commission is a fabulous thing.
Yeah, but then you burnt out because it's like, it doesn't pay to be competent. Like, it pays to be...
Yeah, because they just kept slamming.
Yeah,
they're like, now
oh,
you're taking
cool.
over this
You
property.
run-
Now
you
you're
can
taking
do
over this
everything.
property.
Yeah.
Now you're taking... Now this stuff is outside your purview and not getting paid for it. But now you're doing that. I'm like, oh, okay. You're eating me up. I see what's happening.
Oh,
here.
you're honest and hardworking? Like, cool.
I mean,
like,
you can- yeah.
do everything for us, and we'll do nothing.
They had a petty cash for like expenses. Somebody's having a birthday, and here's the cake and the decorations, and just go buy like stuff or, you know, silly stuff or whatever. And then they had a discretionary fund legit for bribes. Like, because we just high-end clients, it's like, cool, you can't get that done for 2 weeks. For $1,000, can you get their cable, internet, and phone up to work today? Yep. Okay, great.
Cool. Bribing money.
That's just how LA worked. It was so weird.
Yeah, that was coming from Massachusetts, where everything is so legislated and by the books.
It
like,
was
ridiculously so. To
Yeah.
go to be like,
I need to fill out 20 minutes of paperwork and show my birth certificate for a library card in Massachusetts. LA, it's like,
and even then you're getting it there like, bitch, give me my books. Give me my books.
you know what works really well with librarians when you call them bitches? They really like that.
I'm like,
They're like, yeah, I earned my master's degree to be called a bitch by some rando. Thank you so much.
I didn't say it out loud. I said it in my head like a gentleman. But I'm like, am I,
I don't
getting
think
grilled?
you've ever called a woman
Never,
that.
never.
Never.
I'm like, am I getting
know.
grilled at the library?
You and your husband have separate accounts? I'm like,
They're
yeah.
tough there.
And they're like, no. And you need to come and sign. We needed permission. We needed to sign forms
To be on each other's
Yeah.
library accounts.
I
Yes.
returned it. She's like, this says Paul Sweeney. I'm like, yeah, I'm married to him. Well, that's a separate account. You can't return his book. I'm like, I can't bring someone else's book for return. I'm bringing it back to you. Like, no. And they called you. Like, do you know that some woman is bringing up? You're like, my wife?
She's
And I'm not trying to check out the book. I'm trying to bring it back, and it wasn't in bad condition. It was just like, no, you can't return a book
on someone else's account.
with this. I had to show. I'm like, this is the address and the same last name on my driver's license.
They pulled library chicanery. They're like, chicanery.
That librarian has given me the most. I'm like, I can vote through the mail now, but I can't return a book.
I need my library because I'm weird.
We are weird.
I love the library. It's my favorite place in the whole world.
I do love the library.
I like the woods, the beach, and the library. These are the three best places on earth.
You know what's so funny? I feel like we actually are incredibly lucky and have access to a lot of stuff and could do a lot of stuff financially. And we
Yeah.
still like the free. We have
I do-
87 people banging on the pipes at our house.
I do not have a functional brain. I will not have a functional brain for the rest of the day.
Ooh, this is what we're going to do.
All right, hit me.
We're going to go get a coffee.
Uh-huh.
I have a bag of clothes to donate because the girls grow out of them.
Cool.
So we're going to drop it off at Savers and then go buy weird dinosaur shit.
I love that.
And like go see what the weirdest item we can get is.
When I'm 30 minutes into that espresso, I will have 1 hour of functional cognition.
But it's
Do
too
any-
cold to hike.
Is it too cold to hike?
Is it?
I'm warm. I'm wearing a wetsuit. You literally last night you're like, you need to take off the wetsuit. I'm like, I'm warm as fuck. Toast.
Granted,
All right?
we don't have heat in our house, and it's New England in November. But this second downstairs, there's no.
It's the warmest thing you could have.
I know, but have you ever worn a wetsuit in
I'm not wearing
non-water
the bottom.
environment?
I'm wearing,
It is just the top
It's just
up.
the top. I'm not a crazy
But
person.
every single
I'm not-
every single
I'm not
time you
crazy.
move, you can hear it. Are you wearing it now?
I'm
Are you wearing it?
Yeah.
This is wearing a wetsuit.
I got neoprene socks too. I got wetsuit
He got
socks.
waterproof socks.
They're the greatest thing that has.
No, they're so weird. They're not even socks.
I can walk
It's
through
like
a puddle.
wearing soft boots. Why do you need that in your life?
Because it's Massachusetts.
You have a desk job. What puddles are you trekking through?
It doesn't matter. My feet are warm as toast. They are incapable of. I went in the bathtub once because the girls didn't believe me. I was wearing full clothes, and I'm like, these are waterproof socks. They're like, no, they're not. I'm like, what do you mean they're? Are you daring me to step into the bathtub
Do you
with
know
my
that
socks?
actually happened? Because then the next day when they were taking the bath, they were both sitting on the ledge with his socks, tap dancing in water.
Yeah.
I walk in, I'm like, hey, bath time. And they're like,
I got
Dad
2
told us
pairs.
we could do this. Like,
What was the first thing they did when they came out? They're like, look, my feet are dry. Because you know what? Their feet were dry. They are.
I'm not
waterproof.
questioning the validity of it. I'm questioning the necessity of it. No, because I replaced them.
No, I got holes in them again.
I can't take your bullshit without
Listen.
coffee. I need espresso if you're like on extra cray today.
I had to go in the lake with the girls, and the lake is gross, and I needed it to protect my pristine skin from lake grossness. Fish pee in that lake.
Fish pee in you all day. So,
I don't want it to touch my skin. And they're weird. They love the lake. They could be there all day long. It's gross. But I love them, so I throw them around in it like they asked for.
It's an hour and 2 minutes and we've accomplished nothing. We have driven to a bunch of places, sat in the car and been like, man, what have we done?
We've taught the people that you can get waterproof socks.
Don't get them. They're horrible.
We've taught the people the best
They're
way to
not
stay
socks.
warm.
They're like a soft boot. It's the
best
most
way to stay
uncomfortable
warm
thing.
is an underlayer.
It's not. It's
of a wetsuit top.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Have I been cold at all in the last 2 days?
No, I have Sherpa. It's just one shirt. It's a thermal with Sherpa on the inside. I'm sweating.
If the wind blows, you'll get cold.
Wait, I'm in my car. What wind gust is coming in?
I'm ready for the wind. You're not.